Ah, so good of you to invite me for a drink today.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you. Thanks for coming.
Yes, yes, of course. Well then, how are things?
Not too bad, thanks.
Ah yes, very hermeneutic of you.
Very what?
Hermeneutic.
I don't think that's the proper use of it.
Oh, you've heard of it before.
Yes, we touched on it in Humour Studies class, but it was a little complicated.
Humour Studies. Ha! Preposterous. Such a simpleton class such as that could not capture the essence of hermeneutics.
Oh yeah. Then what does it mean to you?
Well, it's very simple really. It's, well, I'm sure your type wouldn't quite understand, but it's quite simple to someone of my stature, you see.
No. Go on, please.
Ah yes, well it covers both the first-order art and the second-order theory of understanding and interpretation of linguistic and non-linguistic expressions.
Huh? Covers what?
Well, the first-order art and the second-order theory of
Yes, I got that. I mean, what is it?
Well, it is no longer conceived as a methodological or didactic aid for other disciplines, but turns to the conditions of possibility for symbolic communication as such.
Yes, okay, but you haven't said what it is.
Well, you see, Heidegger was mainly interested in Aquinas' notion of being and not in his engagement with specifically hermeneutic issues such as the proper authorship of certain pseudo-Aristotelian texts. Presupposing the relative unity of an author's work, Aquinas questions the authenticity of these texts by comparing them to the existing Aristotelian corpus, thus anticipating a critical philological procedure that would later emerge as a crucial aspect of Friedrich Schleiermacher's notion of grammatical interpretation. Simple, really.
What the hell are you talking about? You're just rambling on about the origins of this thing and using overly complicated language. You haven't actually said what it is at all.
Yes, well, I wouldn't expect you to understand in the first place.
Seriously, this is absurd. From what I can put together, you're basically just saying that it's a method of interpretation based on changes in the world around us.
Well, yeah, if you want to be so barbaric about it.
And that our preconceptions can affect our interpretation of that which is being communicated, such as our prejudices, traditions, openness, imagination, language, and really everything that affects how we perceive input in the world around us.
Really, it is so much more complicated than that.
No, I believe that you are actually just overcomplicating it yourself. People change. The world changes along with that, and so do the ways in which we interpret things. For example, say you filmed a documentary today about your daily life, relationships, friends, family and religious beliefs, and then put it in a time capsule in Taiwan for 2,000 years. Obviously, the person watching it 2,000 years from now will perceive it in a completely different way. He or she is in a totally different culture, government, religion, region, language and time period. The words may not be changed, but this person's interpretation of them will be entirely different, and thus, this person's interpretation must come from not their own mind, but the author's, in order to understand the meaning.
Yes, it's like I was saying, understanding of the world presupposes a kind of pragmatic know-how that is revealed through the way in which we, without theoretical considerations, orient ourselves in the world.
Oh, yes, go on. I'm listening intently. Wait. Are you reading off of notes? I knew it. You're reading off of notes. Wait. Did you use a thesaurus for this?
Poppycock. I used the best thesaurus. Comparisons I could think of. Well, I tried my best.
Right. Well, how about next time, you just use normal words?
But that would ruin the whole point.
What point?
What
point?
Well, alright. If you really must know, the real purpose of hermeneutics is to act pretentious and smart when really we're not saying anything at all.
What? That is stupid.
I don't have to take this. I am really smart. I learned hermeneutics in only a day and scored perfect on my IQ test.
What do you mean by scored perfect on an IQ test?
A perfect 100. Obviously.
That is not even... Never mind. Look, let me tell you something. If you actually want people to understand you, maybe you should practice some hermeneutic principles yourself. You cannot simply dig up old philosophical texts from as far back as ancient Greece, start reading them off, and expect it to translate to modern-day speed.
Like I said, I just want to sound smart.
A smart person should know how to communicate.
That is it. I do not have to take this. I am leaving.
Have fun, asshole. Try not to hermeneutic on your way out.